And we're live. There you go, folks. Hello, hello, hello. Good evening and welcome. Yes, it is us two pillocks again. Yes, Festa 67's workshop. Hello. And Fox, the model making guru. And you are here on Wednesday Workbench live for our wonderful friends up in the corner there, eModels.co.uk. Your
one-stop shop for all your model making needs.
Absolutely, folks. So,
I don't know what that was.
We are continuing with our Bandeblade build-ups. Yes, folks, we are, well, build-ups. We're actually continuing with the painting, aren't we? And I've got a confession to make.
Oh, I just did the Paul music and now you're doing confessions. Do we need to?
Yeah, because those of you that were eagle-eyed, excuse me, stifled spider pig there, would have noticed I did such a wonderful job on my rust undercoat. So much so, I got distracted last week and put the top coat down and forgot to put my chipping fluid down.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So, haven't really saved yourself hours of chipping, have you?
Not really, no. I might be able to lightly sand a few areas and bring it through with a bit of wet sanding. I'll see, but
I thought you did do it.
No, I didn't. No, I got distracted because we was yattering on like a couple of women, and I went straight in with the So well, anyway,
if nothing else, you've got a good pre-shade coat there.
Absolutely, you know, it's a bit thinned down in a few places, and I can probably put a few scratches in and a bit of wet sanding and stuff. But I'm not going to stress over it.
No.
It's one of them. Well, I made the mistake so that you don't have to. So what you need to do, folks, when you're doing one of these, if you do a rust base coat, is mute him so you don't get distracted. Spray your chip in down and then unmute him. No, all joking aside, it's my bad. I just kind of... Yeah, I got carried away. So anyway, let's have a quick look in the chat before we go into what we've been up to. Myself and Fox welcoming everyone. We got the lovely... Bennett, he's hyperactive tonight, folks, and he wish me luck, won't you?
I've got two secret things I can see that are exciting me.
Breathe. Let me read the chat. Breathe, Fox.
Read the chat, Cole. Shut up.
I'm going to shoot him in a minute. Scale Model Muse is in, hugging me. Hello, Marcy. How you doing, hello, darling? Muse. And I'm hugging her back nice and tightly with a proper festa. Wendy Hickson is in with an H, hugging everyone. Big hugs to Wendy. Huggly. Big hugs. Muse is saying, Foxy!
Yes.
Stevie's in from B3 Evening, all he says, and says to you, have you recovered from the sugar overload yet, Fox? I would say he hasn't, because he's on acid and Red Bull. Honestly.
Yeah, he may have sent me a big box of proper Dutch stroop waffles.
Yeah, he is so hyperactive, mate, that I dread to think what he's doing. He's probably that hyperactive that he's forgotten his quote. But Jeff is in saying, hi, model making guru, Festa, Wendy Muse, and B3.
In general, human societies are not innovative. They are hierarchical and ritualistic. I was ready with my quote, see?
There you go. Jeff Light is in.
Little faith.
Jeff Light is in, says, good evening, Cole, Fox, and all in chat. Hello, Jeff. Love to you and Maggie, mate. Hope you're both doing all right. Marcy says, oopsie. I know, Marcy. What a boo-boo, love? But hey, you know, it happens. Erwin Nightsing is in, says, evening again, you absolute legends. Cool, I'm so glad Steve says, I can only assume his hyperactivity is due to too many stroop waffles. Oh, he's proper on it tonight, mate.
I don't think too many is a good number for stroop waffles. I don't think such a number exists, does it?
But Cleese is in, he says, evening, idiots and ladies. Hello, Randy.
Oh, you idiot.
Richard Thomas is in, says, good evening, everyone. Hello, Richard. And
hello, Richard.
Marcy says, yum, I've got a box of the mini ones. There you go. Chat is done. So, dude, how are you? How's mum? How's everything going in the world of Fox?
I am all right, thank you, buddy. I'm not doing too badly. I had a lazy day yesterday because my mojo went. So yesterday was a day of nothing.
Yeah.
A bit more positive today. Mama Wolf is doing all right.
Happy
She's just
days.
finished off half a Subway, so she's quite happy, thank you.
Oh, bless her heart.
And tonight I will be... you may notice, since we finished last week, I went ahead and finished doing all the base 2 colours for my camouflage scheme.
Yes.
So what I shall be doing tonight to start with, I don't know how far I'll get, but I need to make this a softer camouflage scheme, so it's just brush painted. I'm going to be using dry brushing and cunningness to soften these edges a bit before I start doing washes and things on them.
Oh, dear.
That's where I'm going to start, with lots of circular motion.
Oh, there you go, mate. Happy days.
Yeah. How about you, my friend? How are you doing? What's your plan?
Fine
Where have you
and
been? What have you done?
dandy. I am obviously fine and dandy. Let me just clean my brush and I'll show you what I'm up to, because I have a pre-presentation picture. That is what I'm up to. I am going to start doing the grey shark's teeth. That's the best operative word. So that's what I'm going to start doing today, folks. That's the scheme I'm going to be doing. Go on.
If you look at that picture, look at the white undercoat layer.
Yeah.
It's patchy and blotchy, which kind of matches with the effect you've got with the rust colour under your white.
Absolutely.
So it worked out quite well, actually.
Yeah. So I don't think I'm going to overdo it, if that makes sense. So obviously you've got the, I am using Fenristraton or whatever it's called, grey. Fenrisian grey. There you go.
Yeah, Fenrisian grey, yeah.
And then the darker ones, because if you look closely at that picture along the bottom edge, there are some triangles that are facing the opposite way that are done in rust grey. So there'll be a couple of layers going on, and then I'm going to add a bit of urban dark colours behind and things. So I'm going to jazz it up a little bit, but not go too mad.
Yeah. You could. That's probably like you could maybe get a third. You could maybe get Administratum grey as well, but it depends how much you want to do.
Yeah, I've got it actually just there, mate. I've got a bit of Dawnstone as well for some dry brushing.
Dawnstone, yeah.
But obviously, I probably won't get all of that done tonight. But hey, you know.
No. Well, it'll be a slower process for you because you've got to brush paint all the pointy bits, whereas I'm just doing brush painting.
Absolutely. I've got a bit of Mechanicus Standard grey there and Administratum grey and But probably find most of these I won't use tonight, but hey, you know.
You never know. I actually realised I forgot to turn my cutting mat over to the painting side, so I've had to put my old scruffy painting mat down for now.
Oh dear.
This is my Sunday best cutting mat under there for nice pristineness. So, McLeish says, model making guru, dry brushing and cunningness. Okay, Baldrick, what have you got going? Yes. And I shall be using, here's a handy tip for anybody. Citadel medium base brushes, right?
Yeah, I'm listening. I'm all ears.
Well, this is more for the audience, but you'll use them for about 3 times and then they'll lose their point. But don't worry about it, because these actually are fantastic dry brushing brushes for small areas. If you're doing small dry brushing things, they're much better as dry brushes than they are as... They're great base brushes, but they don't last very long.
Oh, nice. Right?
So I'm going to be using lots of these now for the little circular patterns.
Absolutely. Candy Grab says the whole tank is a shark mouth. New level achieved. Thank you very kindly, Jet. See,
Shark mouth.
Shark mouth is approved, he says.
Yep. And McLeish says, so is it a mega mouth?
I see what you did there.
Erwin Needsing says, that really looks like the kit from last week, Fox. Cool, thank you. Sorry, I'd had about 6 different thoughts at the same time, then my brain just kind of stopped mid-sentence. My brain went, oh.
Did you just go tilt? You did, didn't you?
Yeah, you know, like when you're about to say something, your brain thinks of something completely unrelated, and you just go... Yeah, buffer overflow. Now I'm going to start dry brushing the Escape from Blight Dinge on these grey stripes to soften this edge. And then what I'll do is, if it looks like absolute bums, I'll come back in with the Xandri Dust and do some of that on the edge of the Xandri Dust stripes as well.
Oh, you're good.
Because I get the impression starting with the dark one might be better. So, So don't forget, folks, we do have the chat in front of us. So please do ask us questions so we can have things to talk about. We will do our best to answer your questions, but we are going to be busy painting, so apologies if we miss your comment. Please make sure you type it in capital letters, or if you really want to get our attention, do @GuruFox or @Festa67 in the chat, and that'll put it our name in an orange box and we can see it then.
Absolutely.
We're going to be a bit distracted tonight, so painting, so...
That's all right. I've got me chat on the bench there, so I shall just make a point every 5 minutes or so of craning one's head so that I can see it.
Thing is, me and you, we both say that and then we never do because we get carried away.
Yeah, no, I was just lulling them into a false sense of security, Fox.
Oh, I know. Right. Dry brushing ho! Let's crack on. I have no idea if this will work. I've never actually done this before. This is my first way of trying this. Skaven Blight Dinge, Scott's funeral dirge, says McLeish. Hey, you're no wrong. It does sound a bit Scottish and dirgy, doesn't it?
It does. It does.
I should try it on... I'll try it on not the big body piece first. You're a big body piece.
I made a big body pieces, but I'm happy.
Yeah, or maybe.
There you go.
This may not work at all.
This may not work at all, he says. Of course, we'll know about it if it doesn't then, won't we?
Well, if I go over it with the grey, and because I'm just going to go over the edge of the grey area, and then if it looks a bit rough, I'll just go over it with the sand colour as well to go back over it. So I've never actually tried this. I've done it before, actually, I lie. I've done it before with black, and that was all right because it was black, and black's easy. But doing it with anything other than black is a bit more tricksy.
Here you go.
So I'm just doing little circular motions.
Little happy circular motions.
Yes.
Your circular
Little
motion.
happy circles. Not work at all. I mean, I don't know.
End of the day, I am sure it'll be fine.
We can but try. See, that's a bit rubbish. It's pushing the paint away from the edge, which is a bit pants. Interesting.
We're doing well, folks. We're 5 minutes in, and already he's whining.
Always. Might be easier to do with this under dust, actually. I do not know.
Mullings, I hear.
Mull. Mullings of Kint. No, I can't sing that. Copyright. Shh.
Yeah, you'll get hit for 6 with that one.
Well, I won't. eModels would. Right, let's give it a try with the Zandri Dust. Dust. Anybody? No? Dust. Anybody? No? Dust.
See what I mean, folks? He's had so much sugar. Yeah.
Dust. Anybody? Dust. Yeah, Zandri Dust is a bit better, actually, for doing this.
Is it? There you go. He's happy.
Yep. Now, it doesn't need to be perfect because I'm going to do a wash over when this all is done anyway, and that'll hide a lot of sins, so it just needs to be rough, a rough fade from one to the other.
Yeah.
Because a wash will darken some things and
Absolutely.
blend some other things. Actually, it's much easier with the Zandri Dust. Don't know why, but it is. I think it's because it's a lighter colour, it can do the work with less effort.
Zandri Dust. It's a dust and it's Zandri.
Zandri, get your Zandri, free for pain. Now, don't forget, folks, as always, the question of the night.
Belly, bench and beverage.
That's the one.
What's on the bench? What's in your belly?
Yeah.
What's your beverage of choice, folks?
Was ist das Beverage of choice? Ja, das ist richtig. Belly for me tonight was a Subway.
Oh, nice.
I had the Philly cheesesteak. Well, it's not actually Philly, it's Philly steak and cheese, which I've never had one of their sort of warm sandwiches before. And like normally you get a foot-long sandwich, it looks massive.
Yeah.
When they do it as a warm one, they squish it down in the panini maker and it just looks like about that big.
No.
So I ate that dead quickly, then I had 4 packs of crisps because why not? So I may be on a salt high, if not a sugar high.
Yeah, welcome to Cholesterol Corner.
I might actually have a heart attack on stream. I don't know. Shortly afterwards, I realised I'm joking. But, you know, make sure the insurance company is aware anyway. Well, I thought this was going to take a while, but if I'm doing it with Andrew Dust, it might be actually quite quick.
There you go.
Which one are you starting with on yours? The Rust, the Fenrisian Grey?
Fenrisian Grey, yeah. Yeah, just put in very thin coat down. There's going to be brush marks in it galore, but hey, you know, it's only its first coat.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Multiple
if you're doing it thin
layers.
Coats, there'll be no text. It won't be textured. That's the main thing. If it's thin coats, will it?
Exactly.
It'll be terrible looking until the second coat goes down.
There you go.
I was actually quite pleased when I got this off the shelf. And I've not looked at it like properly in a week, so I got it down off the shelf and I hadn't really looked at it. And I was like, oh. Now, my memory when I was doing the grey coat was like I was slapping the paint all over the place.
Yeah.
But looking at it, the grey had actually given such a smooth finish because I was just thinning. I was doing it as thin coats.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. So for all the people out there, there's a reason why 2 thin coats is really good advice. Or even 3 thin coats. Thin your paints, people. Thin your paints. Beverage is water. I forgot to add.
Old belly, chicken nuggets and crinkle cut chips with daddy's sauce, washed down with chocolate milk, veg partially built, just the electrics to refine.
Is it me? Right, is it just me? Or do, for some reason, crinkle cut chips taste different to normal chips? I've never actually liked crinkle cut chips. I like chips, but just not crinkle cut chips. I don't know why.
I don't know, mate.
They just never tasted the same. They tasted kind of weird to me, crinkle cut chips. I don't know why.
Unless there's, I don't know, some kind of coating added to them. I don't know.
I never figured that out. I'm like, why don't I like these? I like chips.
Yeah, it might be something that they add to it. I don't know.
It's like how a marrow fat pea is different to garden peas. I like garden peas, but not marrow fat peas.
I like peas.
I like peas, but only garden peas.
I really like peas. Peas are fun.
Do you like peas a lot? Oh, excuse me, burpage.
Look at you burping times.
Cheese and onion. Bow, bow, bow.
Cheese and onion burpage. Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's the way forward. I might actually be able to get onto the wash stage tonight.
Oh, aren't you the guru?
I know. No, I'm the GNU. How do you do? Jacqueline Crochet Artisan says, good evening, gents. Welcome, Jackie. Hello, big hugs to you.
Hello, Jackie. How are you doing, darling?
Hello.
Bow, 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 bow.
Bow, 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 bow. I don't know what that means. I do. I do know what that means.
David JM is the insane evening, folks. Hello, David. How you doing, mate?
David. Hello, my friend. Welcome to the stream. I'm very careful handling this turret because whenever I do this, normally I end up pinging a stubber off it.
Yeah, that'll end in tears, folks. It will end in tears.
There's nothing worse than pinging your heavy stubber. Tell me, it's just not good.
Yeah, that old... Yeah.
Have you pinged your heavy stubber? Then you may have a claim called Smith & Smith Insurance Agents.
Yeah, the stubbers are us.
Oh, yeah. Premium search, phone soon. Problem solved. Other insurance companies are available, of course. Now, I have to say, and in all honesty, this blending won't be anywhere near as good as if I'd airbrushed this all, but I'm trying to show that you can do all this kind of stuff without an airbrush.
Yeah.
Because not everybody has an airbrush.
Absolutely.
Yep. A bit of patience and time, you can get some really good results with just brushing and dry brushing.
Just multiple layers.
Mm-hmm. And it's like all things, like we've said before, isn't it? You've got to realise that the first couple of coats are going to look like absolute garbage, but it's just keep going.
Oh yeah.
Keep going.
And don't get too bogged down either if you do get a bit of texture, because don't forget a lot of these were painted in the field with rollers, mops, and all kinds of gubbins that they come across. So
yeah, rollers, mops, dead cats.
And also you've got your weathering to go on it as well. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
As long as the colours are reasonably block filled.
Yeah. And if you're playing on a tabletop, then you're going to see it from at least 3 feet away. So, you know, don't stress too much.
Pardon me.
Steady and Eris.
Look at me with me belching already.
I know. What flavour?
None.
Not even like last night's fish flavour.
No.
It wasn't fish. What was it? It wasn't. You said it wasn't fish. It was
Chicken breasts.
Else. Chicken. That's it. That's why it wouldn't taste like fish. Strangely enough.
Marinated spicy. It's probably why I'm belching.
Ooh. I had butter chicken last night with a naan bread and basmati rice. And now I really want another curry. Gosh darn it. Erwin Neatsing says, my hairspray technique works for fine on a flat surface. I'm having some difficulties on curved surfaces. Any tips? P.S. I'm using an old toothbrush for chipping. If you're spraying it onto a curved surface, it's probably pulling away from the curved surface, so you'll find it's probably fine at the bottom, but the surface tension is pulling the liquid away from the top of the curve, if that makes sense. Like it's rolling down the hill, if that makes any sense. It's tricky doing that kind of surface because it's all about the surface tension. If you've got a shiny paint and you're trying to spray on hair lacquer, hairspray, it's going to bead up. You could try, before you spray it on, you could try very, very gently spraying the paint it's going to go on to, sanding the paint it's going to go onto, just to give it a little bit of a texture so that the hairspray can grip onto it. Well, then that will make it harder to take it off. So you might get better results if you use an actual chipping fluid rather than hairspray. Because hairspray is kind of hit and miss anyway.
Yeah. It's funny when you've got a bald head like mine and you go in and buy 2 cans of Bristow.
Yeah, but you know what's even funnier is you buy Bristow, so do I.
Yeah.
From the corner shop.
Oh, yeah.
If you live in Britain, you have to go in your local corner shop and buy like 6 packets of crisps, a microwave meal and 3 tins of Bristow. Yeah, so it could just be the hairspray itself, because hairspray is not actually designed for that, so it may be worth, if that's happening, it's not the end of the world, it might just be worth using the hairspray if that's all you've got, but then in areas where the hairspray doesn't take, just add to that with some actual manual brush painting of chips. I'll be doing that on this build. I think we'll both be doing that on our build, so it might be where you can combine chipping, spray chipping, and actual manual painting of chips. It'll all work out in the end, don't worry.
Yeah, if someone had remembered to put his chipping fluid on last week. Yeah. Hey, you know. Yeah. These things happen.
I don't know if chipping fluid would be better on that same surface. I assume it would because it's specifically designed for that purpose, but it may just be a limitation of using hairspray because it's not meant for that.
Yeah, I've always found hairspray is a bit, like you say, hit and miss.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can get a good result, other times it's biblical backside, isn't it? You know?
Yeah, it's good at a pinch if you've got no chipping fluid left and you're doing say you're doing a really big model, like a big model. It doesn't matter if you get a big chip across the universe, and it doesn't matter if you get like a big chip here and a little chip there, but if you're doing like a 1/72 scale plane or something, you wouldn't want to risk it with that. But yeah, it's hit and miss. Do 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 do. But that's the thing. That's the beauty with weathering. There's no rules with weathering. It's how weathering's random anyway. So if it goes a bit wonky, just do other weathering that hides the wonkiness.
Or build, do it how you want.
Yeah. Bit of manual tip. Actually, it sounds really weird, but I prefer doing like manual painted chips, either with the brush or sponge.
I find you've got more control, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I mean, with chipping fluids, you can get that really realistic look where you get all the fine scratches and tiny little marks and like blending and shading, and like the paint fades, which is really hard to get without that. But at the same time, I'm just rubbish at it, I'll be honest. Every time I've tried chipping fluid, it either comes out with massive, dirty, great big flakes, or it just doesn't come off. And I'm like, oh. So I've never had a good experience with chipping fluids because I haven't got the skills. I'm a bit rubbish. Chipping fluid. Anyway, what about you, Carl? What would you
Pretty much what you've said there, mate, to be honest with you. It's one of them, innit? I mean, airspray is, I'm not the greatest with the airspray. I'll freely admit that. I've never really found it gives me what I want.
Yeah, you can never get the full body look, can you? And then
I got more into the brush chips, to be quite honest with you, because I found I could put them where I want, when I want, how I want.
Yep, it's tedious and it takes a while, but it's kind of relaxing.
It is one of those. Sit there with a nice fresh cup of tea and
a podcast or something.
Podcast, bit of music on or something like that, and have at it, because
I'll tell you what made me really, really happy the other day, right?
What's that?
The way I do paint chips, I've always done them that way. I've never actually, apart from the way I manually paint chips is the way I've always done it.
Yeah.
Once I stopped using like chipping fluid and stuff, or masking fluid.
Yeah.
And I just kind of did it and thought, this is how it looks to me. This is what chips look like. And I just made it up. And I was really heartened to see the day it was Adam Savage talking to a guy from the prop store. And they had a pyro model of an X-Wing from the first Star Wars movie that was up for sale.
Yeah.
And he was talking about chipping. Mm-hmm. And he basically described exactly how I do chipping, where you have like a light highlight colour and then a darker colour in the middle.
There you go. See, what he did say is, in your mind, he said, I was watching the model making guru the other day.
Yeah. And they did this thing, and I thought it was brilliant. I was like, that's how I do it. There's twice that now, because he did the same thing with gunk washes, because I just made up a gunk wash out of my brain. I was like, I'll just get oil paint. And it's like, apparently it's a tried and tested technique I didn't know about. So
there you go.
It's obviously when something's a good technique, people are going to come to the same conclusion. Probably.
I think he's a secret GNU fan.
Yeah, he's into the GNU, isn't he?
Yeah.
He likes a bit of GNU action.
I think that's what it is, mate. I think he's a secret member.
You're a secret member.
Nothing wrong with that. I was born on the same day as Adam Savage, so I'm happy.
Ooh, that's true.
No.
I'm a secret lemonade drinker.
Let's get rid of that, because that keeps...
You're a secret Pimm's drinker, aren't you?
Oh, good God, no. Pimm's and a smoking jacket. Yeah. Afternoon, Pimm's.
I say.
So let's put that over there.
I say, me, with the Pimm's and a smoking jacket in the girls' dormitory at midnight with my reputation.
Get as many of these marked out. I'm not worried about the final look at the moment, because it's very early days.
Yeah.
It's just to get an idea of whether the scheme is going to look how I want it to.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know if you can hear it, but my neighbour's outside in the back garden talking to his partner.
Oh,
to his
right.
girlfriend. Well, no, sorry. My neighbour's boyfriend is outside talking to her.
Yeah.
And it sounds like they're having a really boring conversation about wine.
Oh, lovely.
It's like, wow, is that what you talk about?
Mm.
Wow. It's not exciting at all.
No, they could be talking about next Monday's build, couldn't they?
Apparently, Julio Gallo owns 16% of the market, apparently.
Oh, really?
That's a thrilling conversation.
Mm. It's like, yeah. See,
If you're
that's the
gonna talk
peril of living in the suburbs there.
Yes, if you can have a conversation that neighbours can hear, at least make it interesting. God, talking about wine, really? Could you get more middle class than that? He's gone in now.
Oh, do you crack me up?
Hey. Good, you're reached. Right, so I'll just do a little bit of blending. This may not be quite as quick as I thought, but it might be quicker than I thought. It's gone really warm.
Yeah, that's what I was saying to you earlier. So apologies if my fan noise is loud, folks, but it is like a sauna in here tonight. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I can't. I mean, I can't hear you, fan. So,
Yeah. So hopefully it's not too distracting, but...
Is it an adoring fan? Laugh, I nearly spent money. Right, so I don't know if it'll come across on camera, but hopefully you can see I've started to do a kind of fading and blending on those.
Go full screen, mate.
There's no point. It's not that interesting, really, but it's not finished yet anyway. So, like, this was a straight line between the two colours, but now, just by doing little circular motions, dry brushing circular motions, I can just start to make it fade. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's going to be a bit bitty and textury. That's fine. Doesn't need to be perfect because it's going to get a wash over this anyway. That's going to blend everything even more.
Yeah, it'll bring it all together.
Yeah. And there'll be chipping and everything else to cover it. So anything that's particularly egregious, I'll just fix with chipping. So hopefully you can start to get the idea of the kind of thing like that. That's been done. That turret's been done. So it's got a bit of a fade now between the grey and the grey and the sandy colour. I've got the main body to do now. Oh yeah, I thought I finished. It's like, no, you've got the whole rest of the tank to do yet, dude.
Marcy says it's time for work. Catch you later. Take care, Marcy. Thanks for popping in,
Marcy.
darling. Always nice to see Marcy.
Have a good one, Spud. Have a good day at work, dear. If such a thing is possible. I'll just clean that brush off because it'll become solid and crispy.
Yeah, you don't want a crispy brush, mate.
It needs a good clean now. It's been sat there for 10 minutes. But today we've learned a valuable thing. It's easier to dry brush the light into the dark than the dark into the light.
Absolutely.
Who'd have thunk it?
You learn new things here every time, folks.
Mm-hmm. Unless it's old things. Do.
So there you go.
Clee says, don't think they saw my belly post. Hang on, let me find it. Oops, excuse me.
We did say at the beginning we may be distracted. We will endeavour to get to your posts, honestly.
The funny thing is, McLeish knows how to do the app model making guru at Festa 67.
Yeah, it's just been special.
He says, Bella, lunch was spicy kimchi ramyun noodles with Swedish-style meatballs, a Snickers Extra and Monster. Dinner is a pepperoni pizza. Breakfast will be an absolute nightmare in the bathroom tomorrow. Yeah. Muse uses Aquanet hairspray for her hair chipping.
Oh, there you go.
Chipping effects. McLeish says to me, indirect acknowledgement of your skills. I doubt. And he says, who gnu, he gnu, we gnu.
There you go. That's the beginnings of the first bit. See? Oh, yeah.
Steve makes a joke that I won't read out because it's a family-friendly show.
Happy days. Well done,
But
Steve.
it took me a couple of reads. I'm like, oh, I can't read that out. Yeah, I got it eventually. Humour. It is a difficult concept.
It certainly is, mate. Sometimes we get it right, and sometimes we don't.
We learn by doing, Lieutenant. Dry brushing across the universe.
Let me way around. It's getting all Bob Ross then.
Who? Me? You?
Yeah.
happy little stripes.
Yeah, happy little shark teeth.
Now I apologise for folks if they suddenly see nothing but the back of my hand or the underside of the Baneblade. But as you can imagine, it's a big puppy to be waving around, and I've got to work all over it. So you're going to get some unusual... You might just get to see the seamy underbelly for a little while. But just, you know, stick a little red triangle in the... Stick a little red triangle in the corner of the screen, pretend it's 1987 and it's Channel 4. Nobody's going to get that joke, are they? No. No. Honestly, my talent's wasted.
Cleish's off to have his pizza. No worries, Andy. See you in a bit.
Take care, buddy. Cheers for coming along. How about a hooboo-ba-doo-ba-doo? Dry brushing is quite tricky when you can't really get the brush into the little crevices. Meh. Or as the Italians call them, crevice.
It's the one you was using, Cole, because it was in your gob, you pilch.
I have to tell you now, Colin, I'm on series 6 of Supernatural now.
Oh, are you?
And it's really good.
Oh, wow, I'm impressed.
It's really good. You need to add it to your list.
Oh, dear. My poor list.
Mm-hmm. I mean, your list is pretty much any program ever made by man ever, but...
Well, yeah, pretty much. Fox says, you've got to watch everything that I watch. It's like, yeah, of course I have.
No, I can imagine things that you might like. I'm sure there's lots of things I would watch that you wouldn't even remotely have an interest in.
So where did Bluey fall into this then?
Because you're 5 like me.
Yeah, I suppose there is that point.
And also, the thing with Bluey is, everybody likes Bluey.
Yeah, it's beginning to come along.
I was saying to Colin the other day, I saw an article on a website, and it was the title of the article was literally, "So, you're a middle-aged bloke who's never had kids and you're addicted to Bluey. Let's discuss." So it's not just me then. Nope.
You were rather made up at that post, wasn't you?
Yeah, I feel vindicated. Yay!
Immediately sent me a screenshot. It's like, oh my God.
Oh yeah, I felt much better.
There you go. What have we got going on there? B3's a legend in his own right. He says, that reminds me of a Captain Kremlin gag. Probably already read this, but...
I wouldn't read that one out. It's rude. It's a bit...
Oh, is it? All right, then.
That's the one I wasn't going to read out.
Oh, I'll shut up and let you present then. No worries. I'll carry on.
I was just stopping you before you said a rude word.
No, that's right.
I don't want to say. Oh, I nearly read that one out. And I'm like, oh, no. Trust me. How goes your shark mouth toothing?
All right, I was saying to the people about it, but you kind of went on one of your things, so I just...
You know you can tell me to shut up. You know you can tell me. That is the thing you can do.
Don't always listen, dude. Look at that, folks. There you go. There's the beginnings. Yeah.
Ooh.
So it's getting there. No, you was on one of your... I don't know, whatever you was going on about. I switched off, if I'm honest.
Do you know, just say shut up, Fox. I've said that before, you know. Just say shut up, Fox. I'll shut up.
Yeah, I continually do that, but you don't always listen, mate. Normally I just say breathe, Fox. All right, you do. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. You do. Of course you do.
I always listen.
Try and...
Just getting way warm in here now.
Yeah, it is. I reckon we're due more storms today. I really do. We could do with it.
I wouldn't mind that if we actually got the storm up here. Last time we did that, we got the heat that you got, but we didn't get the storm at the end of it.
Oh, mate, we had a brilliant one last time. That was a storm of storms, mate.
I love storms.
Made the national news and everything it did.
Yeah. You had, like, grain silos and pickup trucks and cows going past your window and everything.
Yeah, it was proper funnel clouds and hailstones the size of marbles. And it was proper... Yeah. Well, we was actually quite worried at one point because it was that intense and the hailstones were that big. We thought the glass on the conservatory roof would be shattered, but luckily, but there were a few locals that have got ultra modern cars made of the ultra thin metal that were ruining their decision because there were some heavily dented roofs and bonnets, mate.
Or imagine anybody with a Japanese car which has like almost no lacquer on it and paint made out of marker pens.
Yeah, it was proper. There's a guy across the street that's got an Aston. Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah, it was, how can we say? Yeah.
Yeah, an Aston Martin, or as we like to call it, a Land Rover with slightly more curves.
Yeah. So, to see him stood out there scratching his head with, oh, what do I do? This is the same bloke that whenever he's in the paper shop is, I've got an Aston, Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he is one of those.
Did you just point and laugh?
Yeah, my missus made a point of driving past in her Clio with her window down going, my car's all right, no dents in mine. So did it feel good? She went, you can believe how good that felt.
I'd be going past going, ha ha.
Yeah. So, yeah, he is one of those. Stands out there in his tweed flat cap and his pipe. Oh, I've got this, and I've got, yeah, of course you have.
There's a guy down the end of our road who's got a McLaren.
Oh, right, yeah.
Which is quite surprising because this isn't the kind of area where budgets would stretch to things like McLaren.
Yeah.
But he's got a McLaren.
Yeah.
And if he wants to go, imagine I was in the car and I turned right out my driveway and went down the road and then turned left to get to the main road. He doesn't do that. He comes up his driveway and then straight down our road and then down all the back roads to get to the end of his road. It's like, yeah, you just want to drive around making a big racket. That's all you're doing, you big
yeah. It's, oh, look at me. Yeah.
It's like, okay, you've spent all this money on your McLaren, but you know what? My Fiesta's got a shark mouth on it. It's much better than your McLaren
we've
nonsense.
got one that likes to leave a big number 11 every time he goes out, and it's like, yeah, you won't be laughing when you see how much them tyres cost, mate.
Yeah.
But then Daddy will probably pay for them. So,
yeah.
I swear blind his name's Rupert. He's just got that look about him,
I say, Daddy's got a Porsche.
Yeah, Daddy's heir, I mean, one of them.
Oh, yeah.
My daddy's got, your daddy's got a fat lip, has he? Yeah.
He has now. Wow.
So, yeah, it's...
I have nothing against people having money. I just hate it when people who have money are just morons that don't deserve to have money.
As we've said before, money's fine. New money, people that suddenly come into money, suddenly get a airs and graces about them. And that makes me laugh because it's like, wasn't that long ago that you was just the same as me.
Yep.
We've got one of those in our family, someone that came into a few quid, and
It's the people who've got the money and haven't actually worked to get it, so they don't value it.
Yeah.
It's just annoying.
Yeah. She's a full-blown hyacinth bucket, if ever you've seen one. It's like,
all fur and no knickers, as we say
oh,
about that.
have you now?
Oh, no. No. There's a place around here that I won't name.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to give away where I am in the real world.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly where you mean. Yeah.
Exactly. There's a place near here that is literally, we call it all fair and no knickers, because the women that come from the men are driving the nice cars, the men are all dolled up to the nines just to go to the corner shop. Really?
We get the Croydon Facelift Brigade and all of that, like the Karens and the Sharons, and it's like, like I say, this couple across the street, they had a bit of a win on the lottery.
Oh yeah.
And she suddenly developed one of those armpits that have got a dog in it, you know, one of those.
Oh yeah.
With the big dodgy coat of the Croydon facelift, the big earrings. She's proper tacky.
Yeah.
They had a swimming pool put in with a dome. You know, and it's like, yeah. It is funny. Yeah. Vicky Pollard's coming in. Yeah, but, yeah.
So why can't all these people that don't deserve to win the lottery, why can't I deserve to win the lottery? I'm lovely. I'm not like that.
Yeah.
I'll be grateful if I win the lottery. I'll do good things.
Well, they make a point of saying, we don't like to talk about our lottery win because we wanted to stay anonymous. Now, can you see the irony in that statement?
Well, we can. They can't.
Yeah, and it's like, okay. Oh, yeah, we didn't want our photo in the paper. Yeah, so you're attracting attention to yourself by...
Yeah, we wanted to stay anonymous, but we have a lifestyle that's many, many times in advance of the average income in this area.
I mean, H, when she last saw her, she said, don't want to be a party pooper. She said, but spandex leggings went out in 1986. I went, why did you do that? She said, because it just felt so good.
Yeah, why not?
I said, okay.
Scrunch poo and palm tree? Yeah.
So, it is. It is funny.
Why can't I win the lottery? I deserve to win the lottery. I'm lovely.
I would like to win it because obviously it would pay me mortgage. But I wouldn't want to win 160 million or whatever because I'd be frightened that it would change me into that person. You know?
See, it wouldn't change it that way. I just buy all the crap I wanted. I just endlessly buying
I wouldn't want to lose my appreciation for money. You know, if you buy conveniently a bottle of UMP thinner or airbrush cleaner.
Oh, yes.
You know, if you don't, you know, when you buy that, you know you've had to pay for that out of your own money, and you've got an appreciation for it. But when you see some of these Premier League footballers that sit in a pub lighting a cigar with a £50 note, I think that is just obscene. You know,
no, it's just nonsense.
I would not want to become that type of person.
No. I mean, the thing with me is I don't have a kind of particularly sociable lifestyle anyway. It's not like I'm going out with friends all the time, so
no.
I wouldn't change that much. I mean, I'd just be safe that I could live in this house forever and always afford to pay the bills, and you know, buy all the things I ever wanted to buy that were stupid.
I would like to be comfortable, financially solvent. Is that the word?
Yeah.
Where your mortgage is paid, your bills are paid, and you can just go about your business without
never have to worry about anything.
Not have to worry about where the next bill payment's coming from. But I wouldn't want the helicopter, the mansion, and all of that BS because to me that's just I'd rather, you know, if I won 100 million, I would donate most of it to good causes because there's only so much money you can spend.
Yeah, I'd make sure all my friends' mortgages are paid and things like that. Because that's the one thing I've always said to my friends is basically if I won the lottery and won hundreds of millions like that, then it'd be a bit rubbish if I was living this lifestyle and you're all stuck doing jobs because then you couldn't hang out with me.
You would want your mates to have their mortgages paid and not have to worry about that.
You'd make sure they didn't need to work so that they could hang around with you as well.
Absolutely. But other than that, you know, it's,
I wouldn't change at all. I'd just have 24/7 pool parties all the time. No, I wouldn't really. Yeah, get all my friends sorted out. And then it just means I could sit there and say, oh, look, there's a filming miniature from Star Trek. I'll buy it. Oh, look, there's whatever prop from this movie. I'll buy it. It's mine. Get off.
Welcome to Fox's Warhammer world, where everything is his.
Yeah. I would actually. Imagine if you won enough to just buy Games Workshop.
Cool, yeah. I know the first thing I'd do. I'd change their bloody paint cans. That's the first thing I'd do. Go out, bolt it now, drop the bottles, get in.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's the first thing I would do, mate.
Yep. Get them changed.
No, all joking aside, that's the only thing that would frighten me if I had a big win like that is... I mean, luckily for me, I wouldn't be able to do that because H wouldn't let me become that person, so... Yeah.
No. H is more than aware that you're 5 years old, so being a 5-year-old with an unlimited budget, she'd be more than all over that.
Yeah.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah, I would be a little bit not wanting to become... I wouldn't want to change.
No.
There you go, folks. It's coming along. You're like that. You're like
That's looking really good, that, mate. That's looking really good.
Yeah, it looks great from a metre away, mate, but yeah. Wendy Hickson's just like us. Just enough to live comfortable would be nice. Absolutely.
Yep. Just enough to pay off the bills, have enough money in the bank for anything that needs to be done to the house, like, say the roof falls off. Well, I need to be able to pay for that.
Yeah, you'd like a little rainy day pot, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, but no, so Athol agrees. It's true, Athol. I mean, most of us just want to not have to worry about the cost of living and things like that. Just pay the bills and see out the rest of your days comfortably. It's not too much, is it?
Nope.
You know, I'd leave the jet set lifestyle to other people. It's not for me.
Yep. You know what I'd be tempted to do if I had lots of money? And it sounds really weird, but what I'd love to do is, like, not have a house, but just, like, take a penthouse apartment in a hotel, like, the top floor, most luxurious apartment.
Yeah, top floor suite, yeah.
Yeah, and just say, right, here you go. Here's enough payments for, like, the next 25 years.
Yeah, absolutely. And, yeah.
Also, I want really crappy hotel burgers every day for the rest of my life, and a really good broadband, thanks.
I mean, man cave would be in Dr. Evil's secret lair because an underground man cave with sharks and lasers is what everyone would want, you know?
Well, I mean, ideally you want a volcano lair, really, but it's harder to come by than underground, isn't it, I suppose? You have to go with what you can get. Volcanoes are not 2 a penny nowadays. All the good volcano layers have been taken up already.
They certainly have, mate.
Now, here's the thing, though. It's getting harder and harder. It's still hard to recruit henchmen, okay, but you can get them. And you can get the boiler suits and the orange hard hats.
Yeah.
But it's getting really hard to locate the MP40 machine pistols.
Yeah.
That henchmen always have. They always have MP40s. It's like, any idea how hard it is now to get MP40s for your henchmen?
Yeah, it's like, easy. A good henchman, they're difficult to come by now.
Yep.
What made a good henchman a few years ago is it's not the same now, is it?
Yeah, they want rights now and union.
Yeah, they want proper working conditions and that. It's like, danger money.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, sorry, but
If I was American and I won like one of their Powerballs where you win like $1 billion, those kind of things, I'd be like on the phone to Bethesda saying, right, Bethesda, we want a complete remastering of Fallout 3, please, in the Fallout 4 engine. Thank you very much. And make it happen.
Why does that not surprise me?
Yeah. And Frontier Entertainment, you need to get your pulse back onto Elite Dangerous for consoles, please. Get that updated because that's been abandoned.
Yeah.
And what else do we need? I'd be like EA.
You'd be getting Microsoft to rename the Xbox the Foxbox.
Yep, Foxbox. I'd be like EA, Medal of Honor Frontline, please. Modern, but exactly the same. Yep, sort it out, or at least get it on Xbox. Sort it out. Imagine the goodness you could do for gamers worldwide.
Oh, yeah. Your inner child would be suitably released, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah. I'd hire an animation company to basically just take my comic strip from all those years ago and just make it to an animated series.
Oh, that would be good.
Yeah.
Oh, you'd be proper made up if they did that.
Oh, yeah. Although I'd never be happy with the voice artists. It's like, that doesn't really work for Fox and Law.
No, you'd have to do all the voices. I know what I would do. I would ring up the makers of Skyrim and say, I want this man to do all the voiceovers forever.
Hey, you're finally awake.
He is the voice of Khajiit.
Khajiit agrees with this.
See, there you go.
I don't know why I went all hiss at the end.
Took me ages to figure out that it wasn't a bloody game.
Yeah, Colin, for those that don't know, I was doing like playthroughs of Skyrim, and I was doing it with a, because I was playing a Khajiit in the game, so I was doing like silly little comments in a Khajiit voice when I read my comments out, when I was doing dialogue. So I'd be like, I'd just be ad-libbing it. But Colin didn't realise that. He thought it was the game actually making it. I was like, that's me, dude. He's like, really?
It was like a proper doll moment. It was like, doll.
It's like I'm there and I'm like, I'm firing an arrow into this cow which goes in the air. And I'm like, and I'm like, these arrows make cows launch into the air. And he's like, it's amazing they thought somebody would do that and wrote it into the dialogue. I'm like, it's me, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I had that walking away music moment as I sauntered back off into the background. Went
you were like, I knew that. I do gaming. I'm down. Hip.
I knew all of that, every bit of it, dude. Honestly,
I'm down with the kids on the street and that, and by car door slam. Bless you, my child. How's your painting going, buddy?
All right, mate. It's getting there. It's progressing nice and slowly, mate.
I like the word slowly when it comes to you. I know it's a challenge, but you can do it.
Yeah, it again, it's that first layer stage. Yeah.
Where it looks like absolute nonsense.
Oh, mate, yeah. And luckily for me, I know that this stage would be like that, so I can, I would say successfully ignore it, but it's a challenge. But
yeah, for the viewers, basically, if your first coat of paint is completely opaque and you're painting with acrylics, your paint's too thick.
Yeah.
Thin your paints.
That's why we all literally just drop paint onto the wet palette and go from there, because
where palette across the universe.
But you do end up with all your brush strokes and that, and you're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, but at least it's just transparency, not actual physical brush marks, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, sniffles. McLeish says, me, the 13th the Duke of Wimbam, in the shower room of the girls-only gym in class with my reputation. Oh, let's have a look. Where are we up to? But Steve says, it'd be sort friends and family out, move out of the city and have a proper workspace for all my plastic crack. Her indoors will probably just want holidays, so I might have to give her some money.
Yeah, the only thing H would want is to go on a cruise. She'd like to go on a cruise. It's one of her things. It's like, yeah, your ticket will be paid for. Have fun.
Yep.
No, I wouldn't. I'd go with her, obviously. Choice.
I saw a thing the other day with this woman who'd like sold her house and retired, and she was on like a 3-year cruise where you just go around the world for 3 years.
Yeah.
And I found myself thinking, you know what?
And good idea.
If I was rich, because it's like, I don't mind being by myself. I can entertain myself quite nicely. If I could get decent broadband, somehow, on a cruise, and then I've got the option of going out and about on the ship, or, it'd be all right. Get to go to all these places and sit on a ship, and food's made for you.
Absolutely.
If I was very rich, of course, I've won the lottery, I would, of course, pay to have someone make all my food. I'd be like, right, I need food now. What do you want? I know this. Make it.
Yeah. I want all the things.
I'd have my own sushi chef.
Fish finger sandwiches 24/7.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, you'd have to have a sushi chef.
If I was very rich, I'd have a sushi chef who can make chip butties if needed.
Yeah, that's a good shout.
Also sushi. It's my sushi chef who's also about everything else chef.
Would he have to have the ability to make proper northern gravy?
Yeah, absolutely. If you ever put curry sauce on a chip without it being curry rice and chips, I'd sack him, because that's far too southern. That's almost Leicester, that is. Curry sauce and chips.
Yeah, you can't have that, mate.
I went into a chip shop in Leicester and I'm like, right, I'll have sausage, chips and gravy. We don't do gravy. Do you want curry sauce? With sausage and chips? What? Get out.
Yeah.
Just shut up. No. Heathen. What? Who has curry sauce with chips if it's not curry rice and chips? Spoon. And then I went to some others and no, they're all like, no, don't do gravy. I'm like, what? Such nonsense. Beep, 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 beep. La 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 loo.
Chippy's brilliant, mate.
You've got a northern chippy, haven't you?
Yeah, if you want curried sauce, go to the curry shop down the street.
Mm-hmm.
It's chips, fish, pies, proper. Yeah. And it's like, that's what it is. That's what you get.
I don't know what it's like down there, but there's two types of chippy up north here. There's chippies and Chinese chippies.
Yeah, yeah.
The difference being that the Chinese chippies, of course, do Chinese food as well, takeout food, but they do things like curry rice and chips.
Yeah.
So it's like a full chippy service, but with the Chinese option as well.
Yeah.
But if you go into a non-Chinese chippy, they probably won't have curry sauce. Or they might not. They might do curry rice and chips, but it's a hit and miss. Retro Rabbit Studios is in.
Hello, mate. How you doing? Nice to see you.
Rabbit. Rabbit.
See what he did.
Bit of Chas and Dave.
He's got more rabbit at Sainsbury's. If it come in a piece.
Do you know what I saw the other day? I was laughing my head off. I found a clip on YouTube of World of Sport.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was about 1976 or 7, and it was the Christmas Eve show, because it was Christmas Eve and it was Saturday, and it was World of Sport with Dickie Davies presenting, and they had Eric Morecambe as a guest throughout the whole show.
Brilliant, yeah.
And he went full on Peter Kay and Granada Tonight kind of mode, just interrupting all the time and being a pain.
Yeah. Dickie Davies was a legend. He really was, because most people, if they had had Eric Morecambe on, would have died a death, wouldn't they? But he did keep trying to go, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, this is World of Sport, and I will present this in a professional manner. It's like, why have Eric Morecambe on there then?
And at one point he's there, and Eric Morecambe's right close up to his face, looking from the side. He touches his moustache and goes, "Oh, it's real." Last time I saw a herd of those, they were put down.
Brilliant. Yeah. Legends.
And Dickie Davies is there trying to read the auto cue, but Eric Morecambe's mouthing the same dialogue as well. He's or just reading the auto cue out at the same time.
I mean, could you imagine Frank Boff trying to do that? It just wouldn't have happened, would it?
No.
Fair play to Dickie Davies for having the spuds to go ahead and agree to that, because he was a serious broadcaster at the end of the day, wasn't he? And damn good. And a lot of people used to mock him. But I'll tell you something, he kept that show, which, when you think about it, was what, a 7-8 hour show going on a Saturday?
I don't know how long it was, a good few hours, yeah.
And it was one of them, wasn't it? All the horse racing, wrestling, and all the different sports, and yet he kept it going.
I seem to remember Dad did some World of Sport stuff sometimes. A lot of time it was just like he was out on OB doing football camera work. But a few times I think he worked in the studio, and he said it was always a good laugh in the studio during the show because they just laughed about.
Yeah,
it wasn't really taken very seriously. Dickie Davies was like a good laugh, apparently.
Well, this was it. I mean, a lot of people, because he was quite a dapper fella, wasn't he, in the 70s, with his perfectly combed hair and moustache and his suits. And a lot of people thought he was a little bit of a stuffy so-and-so, didn't they? But apparently he had proper barroom banter and, was one of the lads, basically.
Yeah, well, I was quite surprised because I hadn't actually really seen any World of Sport stuff since being a kid. And when I saw this clip, I was quite surprised he had a quite a strong sort of Rishi pronunciation voice.
Yeah.
He wasn't northern or anything. So it was like, you know.
Pardon me. Let's have a swig
And
of
score
tea.
draws from such and such. Super match game.
No, I always liked him. I just thought he was perfect for that show.
Mm-hmm.
To be
I was
honest.
never into sport as a kid, but I always knew that World of Sport was vastly superior to Grandstand because
yeah.
Grandstand was boring and serious. And World of Sport had wrestling.
Yeah.
And it also it had wrestling and also like not only like smash up stock car racing, which to Americans in England, stock car racing is you take a knackered old car, rip everything out and just crash into each other. It's like Destruction Derby, really.
Yeah, Demolition Derby. That's why I describe it.
Yeah. But they used to have like stock car racing with caravans on the backs of the cars as well.
Yeah.
That was World of Sport, whereas Grandstand was all, and the score draws from this boring football match are blah, 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 blah. Nobody cared about Grandstand.
Grandstand was pins and cucumber sandwiches.
Yes.
World of Sport was pork pies and builder's tea.
Yeah. World of Sport was the view from the stands, whereas Grandstand was like, and today we're going to talk about the football match with some people who played football, you know, it's very boring.
It was proper terraces, whereas Grandstand was executive box, please.
Yes. Slow good progress over on this tank here, but it's getting there
Which,
slowly.
considering how things went for Frank Boff in later life, was quite funny.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, it's like to me the BBC versions of things were always more boring. Like Swap Shop was boring as anything compared to like Tiz was, or Number 73. Tiz and Number 73 were like great for kids, whereas Swap Shop was just so stead and boring and like
Oh, we've got children's show. Oh, lovely little
it's for
people.
the children's.
Yeah, all those little oval teenies out there. It's like,
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone's saying hello to Dom there. Hello, Dom. How you doing, mate? Nice to see
Dom.
you in. Hope everything's all right. Hope your other half's all right, mate. Hope you're keeping well. It's nice to see Dominic in.
Mm-hmm.
From the Netherlands.
I was about to say bonjour, but that's not the Netherlands, is it?
No,
I don't know why I was about to say bonjour.
I don't know either, mate, but hey, you know.
If it's Netherlands, it'd be something. There'd be a lot of back of the throat.
Yeah. Yeah, it's proper Bob Fleming, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Stroopwafel Gein. I don't know.
Proper TK,
how
isn't
many
it?
people we know from the Netherlands, isn't it?
It is. I was chatting to
funny how
TK
many-
yesterday.
It's. I suggested he speak to you about that.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's funny how many British people get into a bit of a panic when somebody says, "I'm from the Netherlands," and they go, "Hang on, is that Denmark, Finland, Belgium, Russia? What?"
Yeah.
Because the people I have to think, hang on, which part of the Netherlands are they from? And is that Dutch? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because we have no concept of like Scandinavia and Netherlands and Finland, and we just don't understand it. Don't understand the borders.
I always go, Holland is the flat bit with the dikes.
Mm-hmm. Well, I grew up reading Asterix, so to me, Belgium is the flat bit.
Yeah.
Everybody says to Obelix, "How was Belgium?" Flat.
Yeah. Netherlands, Holland, windmills.
Windmills on my mind. That wasn't very good.
Very beautiful country, actually. All joking aside.
Oh, yeah.
Again, a very chilled way of life.
Mm-hmm. I take it you got TK sorted with his fishy
Oh,
puppy.
yes.
Yes.
So he's going to give it a go.
Mm-hmm.
I hope it works out for him.
Well, yeah, I'm sure his missus does it. She doesn't want really a bath full of fish.
Yeah.
Our friend TK's aquarium. Some of his hardware in the aquarium fell over and died, so he had to like transfer all his fish and stuff to the bath, complete with all the filters and wires going into it and cables and stuff. So, yeah.
Bless him.
And the 2 shrimps were saved. Yay! Shrimpocalypse was avoided. It's all about the shrimps. How you getting on, buddy?
All right, mate. Getting there slowly but surely.
Approaching. Not done, but I'm getting there. I've finished kind of one side now.
Yeah, no, it's coming together well. Sorry, I was just cleaning my paintbrush. There you go. That's the beginnings of the first coat down on one side.
Oh, that looks great. So the thing is, I'm like you. I can see that now, and I can see it with the weathering on top.
Yes.
And you can get a hint of... See, if you look at, like, if you put your thumb... You see the bit that'll be the red and white stripes?
Yes.
If you put your thumb, like, forward a bit, on that... I can't... I was just pointing to it. Anyway, there's a bit just forward of the front bit where there's a thing. And it looks, because it's a darker in the middle because of the red underneath, it looks exactly like the picture.
Yeah. And that is, for those that are wondering, let's...
is that Fenrisian grey or rust grey?
Yeah, there you go. That's what I'm trying to do, folks. Create that. So we're getting there. It's, I don't think, too far off.
I'm very sad now that I didn't do that colour scheme.
Why?
Because it looks really good. I'm not a big fan of my kind of like stripy colour scheme.
I think it looks mint, mate.
I made a poor choice.
Yeah, it's one of them. It's a scheme that you've got to force yourself through the pain barrier. Because it looks very streaky when you first start doing it and very bitty, and then all of a sudden it will start coming together. But at the moment, you've got to bypass that.
Yeah, it's where you need the ability to think forward as to what the weathering's going to look like, and that's when you go, oh, it's going to be great. Don't worry about it.
And there you go. That's it with a turret on as well. See, where I wanted to try to continue to scheme up into the turret, and obviously. Turret on the sponsor, and behind it you've got these shapes, so I tried to get them to almost try to mirror as best as I can, so hopefully it's beginning to come together. You can see where it's going, so yeah.
See, I've got another Baneblade to paint.
Oh no.
So I think I might go for that colour scheme that you've done on it, because it looks really good.
Hey mate, I don't mind. I'm flattered that you want to mimic it, mate. Makes nice to me. You'll do a better job of it.
Oh, nonsense. Shush now. You're doing a fine job. To quote Blade Runner, you're doing a man's job, sir.
It'll come good. I should do the other side, and then it's a matter of then of trying to merge it across the middle then, because... Yeah, sorry,
go like that once. Trying to merge it across the middle. I've got it's just like I say, like you, I can imagine the weathering going on top of it, so I know it's going to look fantastic because the weathering will hide any sins, and that's the important bit we've said before to people. Don't get discouraged because you think your paint job's terrible when you're only 2 steps into a 20-step process. Just stick with it. You know, any professional paint job is going to look like weird and nonsense at the start.
Oh yeah, I probably have to go over what I've done at least another 2. Yeah, probably at least another 2 times. Yeah,
it's better to go in thin.
Yeah, no,
too thick. So yeah, don't get disheartened. I mean, I'm looking at this now and thinking, oh, this blending's terrible, but I know I've got weathering and stuff to go over the top that's going to hide the blending, and I can do tactical chipping and all kinds of stuff.
Tactical chipping.
There'll be dot filters, and there'll be streaking and all the things.
Oh, so, filters. Yeah. Nice girl
across
she
the
is.
universe. Hey?
I heard she's a nice girl. Dot filters.
Dot filter? Yeah.
I did.
My auntie was called Dot.
Want me to stop, didn't you?
I hated her.
Oh, what, your auntie Dot?
I didn't like her. Yeah, I didn't like her. She was kind of annoying in many ways.
My favourite aunt was my Aunt Marge when she was alive. But yeah, Winnie's a legend. I give her that. She's proper funny.
Just having the name Winnie, you know what she's like straight away.
Oh yeah, but Marge, oh mate, she didn't mince her words, mate. She proper just went for it, and it's like, yeah, you go, girl.
East End girl.
Yeah.
There you go then.
Bethnal Green, mate.
See, I only had one real aunt, and that was Auntie Dot, who I didn't like. I just didn't get on with her at all. She was just too, I don't know. She was rubbed me up the wrong way, but I had lots of unofficial aunties. Like, the lady next door was Auntie Joan.
Yeah, that was a
And
proper
Uncle
thing
Charlie.
back then, wasn't it? Every neighbour was an aunt.
Yeah, Auntie Joan was lovely. She was one of those women that when she got to about 80, she had the enormous bazooms.
Oh, right, yeah. She'd give you a cuddle and you would disappear into the void, wouldn't you? Yeah.
It was like a sofa. And she liked everybody liked Auntie Joan. And then there was Auntie Sheila next door, but one who was Catholic and Irish.
Yeah.
And she was one of those women that, like, by the age of 50, she's got the shockingly white hair.
Yeah.
But she was like proper. She was so funny. She had the proper, like, Irish laugh, and she'd always say Egypt.
Oh, right, yeah, stupid Egypt. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Egypt.
Yeah. If ever you've wondered what we're on about, if you could imagine walking between two car wash bristle rollers, that was like getting cuddled by your buxom aunt. You would just disappear between these bulbous mounds of rolleredness, never to be seen again. Yeah. My brother used to look at me
Grandma's sofa.
and he'd be going, Aunt Jean's coming over. She's heading towards you, mate. Be afraid. And you'd just, to feel the vacuum as you lifted off the ground.
Yeah, the 0-point energy pulling you in.
Yeah. Let it be, I've survived mine. You've got your turn to come yet. Yeah.
Auntie Joan and Uncle Charlie. Uncle Charlie was like ex-army. He was in World War II, and he was like the kind of NCO. He was almost like a sergeant-y type.
Yeah.
He looked like Captain Manning. He was like little, small and round.
Yeah.
And he had that kind of slightly officious Captain Mannering side to him.
Yeah.
Although he's probably just a sergeant.
I mean, her husband, Ronnie, that's why I was always got on with him, because I spent a lot of my time with him. And he was a proper old school crim. And whereas she knew what he got up to, his naughtiness, should we say, but like all women of that generation, chose to just sort of gloss over it and not actually acknowledge, but she was proper spirited.
Yeah, what he gets up to, it's not my business.
If she had a ding-dong with someone, it was so funny. So, Aunt Marge heard that. Here she goes. Yeah, she's made it to the gate. Oh, here we go. So, and she was proper pigeon-head as well. You know, you want some, do you? Yeah.
And she's about 3 foot tall.
Yeah. No, she was really quite a tall lady, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, she was... Yeah, proper tall, because Ronnie wasn't a blood relative. He was taken in because his house got blown up across the street by a doodle bug. And it killed his entire family, his mum, his dad, his sister, all of that lot. So my nan took him in as one of her own.
Yep.
And raised him as her own blood. And, Marge was related to me mum through a similar event where her parents took in a bombed out person, so it was a bit, might as well just say they were stepbrother and stepsister type thing.
Like an ad hoc adoption, isn't it?
Yeah, one was on my dad's side. Of course, my dad married into that family. And then Ronnie and Reggie, ironically, not that Ronnie and Reggie, married into them. And, so the connection, or the family connection, was made, so to speak. So, it's it's quite funny. Yeah, not that Ronnie and Reggie.
Yeah, the cachet of having relatives called Ronnie and Reggie at that period of time. Is like, you met my nephews Ronnie and Reggie.
Absolutely,
we'll
it's funny. Even after they are both long gone, you're still in that mindset of whenever you mention them, and you go Ronnie and Reggie. Yeah, not that Ronnie and Reggie. Yeah.
It opened a few doors, though, didn't it?
It did open a few doors, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Because at the time, the twins were still about, weren't they? You know, I mean, they went down in, 68, 69, so, yeah.
Get any mileage out of it that you can.
Yeah. Well, it's funny, when you used to meet Ronnie Isles, and he would say, I'm Ronnie, and he'd go, no relation. They're not fortunate enough to be related to me, you go. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
Retro Rabbit says, I know the feeling of the Steel Legion pattern. It does look weird till it's done and dusted. That's the one I'm doing.
Yeah.
JC Bricks and Builders in. James is in. Welcome,
Hello,
James.
James.
Stefan Last is in as well. And Jeff Light. So welcome to the three of you.
Happy days.
Athos off says, I'm off to bed, so I'm feeling all that great tonight.
Oh, mate, no worries.
Pot noodle.
Yeah, get well soon.
Sorry, Broadband has a hissy fit. I do like the paintwork colour, says Wendy Hickson.
It's getting there slowly but surely, Wendy. I'm beginning to try to fall in love with it.
Do. I'm doing all this complicated, delicate dry brushing here, which I'm going to cover up with a sponson. Oh, well.
Yeah.
Sponsons.
I'm just literally roughing out pretty much where things are going to go. And stop me over painting things then, because once the stripes are done, I'll then chip them and undo that. So I might as well. And this is a base of Mephiston going down, so it'll be painted over with another red. Yes.
What are you doing? Your nationality stripes. Whatever they're called. They've got a name. I can't remember what they're called now.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean, I've done it before. I know I've got things that will go over this camouflage pattern like the sponson.
Yeah.
But I'd rather just get the pattern down and have it contiguous, so it's not just. Because if I try and paint round things, it'll just look broken up and weird.
That's it. That's why I thought, well, I might as well put these down, because my temptation would be to put additional shark teeth down, and it's like, well, they'll get painted over anyway, so I might as well just put these down as a base layers, and then I know where my scheme ends.
Yeah.
He said ends.
It's like a Photoshop layer, isn't it? One layer is your camouflage pattern. Next layer goes on top.
Exactly. I'd like to say all the finagling and the perfectly straight edges, and that'll be done once the top layers go down. So,
the important thing that people have to realise, and I've said this before on videos, when you watch somebody on the telly box doing painting video, you know, whether it's Duncan or Night Shift or whoever it is you're watching doing a painting video, especially for miniatures, especially painting videos where it's miniatures. You'll often see people doing either paint schemes or camouflage schemes or markings where they freehand it.
Yes.
And they might be painting like a marking on a pauldron. They might be like you're doing, painting the battalion stripes, whatever they are, or the nationality stripes. They might be just painting stripes of one kind or another. And what you very rarely see them do, like you've got a tutorial video, so right now we need to paint this stripe here, and they'll paint the stripe and they'll give you a few steps of it. But what they won't show you is the back and forth to keep it nice and neat, because you'll see it. So right now I'm going to paint this stripe, and they start, and then it cuts away and you've got the stripe, and you think, wow, they must have a really steady hand, because that's a really nice straight line.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, what you don't see is them then paint, like here they'd be like red, now paint a sand colour to tidy it up, now I've gone too far with the sand, let's paint the red again, and then paint them, and you go back and forth until you get the straight line.
We did it with the Lehman Russ.
Yep.
And, you know, it was backwards and forwards, bit of white, then a red, then another white line, then another red line, because they'd either be too fat, too thin, or a bit bronze list, and yeah.
So if you are ever trying to freehand details, especially like straight lines or stripes, and you're getting stressed out because you can't get this wonderful straight line, don't panic. Nobody can. Even the hardcore professionals have to go back and forth before they get... It's like painting checker patterns on all vehicles. It takes ages because you've got to draw them all out and paint them in and then tidy them up for half an hour.
Absolutely. I speak with knowledge of this because I do like doing a checker.
Yeah, me too. So when you see a beautifully hand-painted checker pattern, yeah, they've gone backwards and forwards on the blacks and the whites, constantly tidying up squares, making lines that aren't straight. When I do checker patterns, I end up with lines like that, and I have to go and straighten them up. And so don't worry if you're trying to do like complicated freehand designs and they're not.
And you could be really stupid like me and go, oh, I know what'll be a good idea. Let's paint some Harlequins.
Oh yeah. Or it's like sometimes you'll see on Imperial Knights or on flags in like for Space Marines and stuff, they'll put the wording on the side on the flag and they'll do it in a specific font, and it always looks like really neat. But that could be the 5th attempt.
Yeah.
There's always even like Darren Latham, as you know, watch his videos. He'll go back and say, right, yeah, do this line, but you probably make a mess of it. So go back and tidy it up 3 or 4 times before you're happy with it. Right, I think I have almost completed the.
Well, we end up literally as you're doing your last couple of coats. It's almost like a glaze, isn't it? So that you end up with absolutely 0 brush marks, and does take a while.
Oh yeah,
but it is so rewarding. That's the thing.
Yeah,
and that's what I like about.
Yeah. But it's like never expect instant results, and don't panic if, like, especially with freehanding, any kind of pattern or straight lines, it's not working out. Don't worry, just keep going back and forth and back and forth. That's why you have to have the paints thinned, especially if you're doing bold like red and white or black and white or anything like that. Checkers, keep your paints thin and just go back and forth and just fettle until you get them nice and neat, and you'll be amazed. Right, that's done. I have now softened that reasonably. It's not perfect, but it'll do for what's to come, I think, because once everything else is on top, it'll look pretty dandy. So I've got it. It doesn't really look that much different on camera, I suppose, but it's just soft enough now that once I get a wash on here, it'll start to look a bit more sprayed rather than brush painted. A little bit, he says. Do it just a little bit. So that's that bit done. No, I could, if I wanted to, go back and do the same thing with the grey now, just to tidy up even more. I've got to actually tidy up a few little bits where I've gone too far with the sandy dry brushing and hit some edge highlights. I need to do a little bit of tidy up, and then we can do a wash, I think.
Oh, he's good.
Yes. But what I will do is step away for one moment, and then I'll be right back.
Yeah, no worries, mate. You do, yeah. Retro says, I'm looking forward to seeing how you guys do the treads. I always feel mine aren't quite right. Yeah, the tank tracks is something that does always catch me out a little bit. But, yeah, I honestly don't know what I'm going to do with these ones, to be honest with you. I might just do subtle and then use the track wash to do multiple layers. Yeah, you did hear me right. Festa did say do subtle. Just try and get that triangle in the right place, which is about there. And I can extend that over once I do the top-down view. Because what I'm trying to do is marry that up so that this shape that goes up there then continues across the back edge and then up the way. So I've got a little bit more fettling and finagling to do to get it to comply, but it'll get there. And then when I look at then the top-down view, I need to then try and replicate that down both sides with shark teeth coming that way and that way. So I'm going to carry these up and then mirror these so that they're like so. So you still end up with the same shark bite effect along the top. So that's why I thought if I start at the side, I can then flow it over, and then I've got to then mirror this on the other side. So, yeah, hence why I'm literally roughing it in at the moment so that I can get the whole scheme going over, and then I can finagle and fettle with it until my heart's content.
You like fettling, don't you?
I do like a good fettle, mate.
You like a nice fettle.
Don't call me fettling Festa for nothing, mate. So what I did there?
I call you other things as well, but yes. You're
Oh,
not
he
wrong.
does. Believe you me, the names I get called,
Oh, yeah.
little bits of me hurt inside for hours afterwards. I don't.
I can't believe I'm going to use this pristine wet palette now for this one tiny little bit of touch-up that doesn't really warrant.
Well, why don't you
Using
just
a wet
tear off a
palette.
small piece of the paper so you're not wasting a full sheet? I've said that to you before. Just use a partial piece.
Oh, no, it's not. It's not the actual... It's not the wet palette paper that comes with it. It's just a piece of, like...
Oh, right.
I've used a little roll of... a strip of cooking, whatever, but...
Parchment
It's just
paper.
using a whole... Yeah, just using a whole thing of wet palette just for like a tiny bit of painting. Never mind. Oh yeah, I'm not going to use the big wet palette sheets now because it's a waste just for once a week.
Yeah, I've been pretty lucky with my wet palette. You know, I just leave it.
Yeah, no, mine went mouldy last time, so I'm like,
You know, the only reason I've got dots in the corner is I used to have couple coins in there and they stain the foam. But
yeah.
no, I
think if I
normally once a month I'll take the foam out and give it a soak in a bit of white vinegar. Boom, done.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I was using my little wet palette with like tissue and stuff, I would just leave because that was quite good. It would stay.
Yeah.
It would stay wet, but this one dries out really quick. So.
Yeah, unfortunately they made a boo-boo by not having it in a sealable tub.
Yes. But it is a good wet palette. Just not ideal.
I like it for the brush storage and all of that.
Your brush storage.
Yeah.
What have I got to tidy up? Only little bits, I think.
Yeah, I've got a fair bit of tidy up to do, but Marcus is in. He says, evening, Colin and Fox and all in chat. Good evening,
Marcus.
Marcus. How are you, my friend?
Hello.
Nice to see you in.
Willkommen auf dem Stream, gefahren.
Always nice to see Marcus.
Mm-hmm. Oops, dropping my paint.
Up in your paint. Boom, boom, boom.
Super match game. Bomb.
That's all we did.
Did you see what I did?
Proud of you, soldier.
Thanks, Mum.
It's funny, whenever I go round me mum, she'll always do a bit of toast and marmite with a cup of tea.
Oh yeah, this seems to be the right thing to do.
She's a proper wind-up merchant, my mum. Because she'll always cut the toast in soldiers and go, there you go, you little soldiers. It's like, thanks, mum. Part of me's like, yeah, you shouldn't do that, mum. I'm 55, you know. But inwardly, I'm like, oh, I love my little soldiers.
Yeah, you're embarrassed, but at the same time, you don't want to not have
my
your
lads
soldiers.
go, oh, you got your little soldiers, Dad. And I went, oh, yeah. And then Cal will go, well, can I have some soldiers? Yeah, you mocked me, but now you want some. And then
Yeah,
I
deep
get the
down, they
pleasure.
know.
Mum only does soldiers for me.
Yeah, there you go. You see.
Yeah.
Well, I for lunch tomorrow, I'm going to make Mum all some chopped up egg in a cup.
Oh, egg in a cup. Yeah.
Proper childhood type snack foods.
Yeah.
Hard-boiled egg chopped up in a cup with pepper and...
Still remember
butter.
bread and dripping.
Oh, yeah, bread and drip. Oh.
Isn't it, eh? So wrong, but so right.
I did try tripe once. It was foul.
Yeah.
But, yeah, bread and dripping.
Proper, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's proper hardcore good stuff, that. You can get away with it nowadays.
No. Cool, no, they would proper... Yeah.
You'd be arrested.
Yeah, you can't give your child that. Why not? That's staple food of our childhood, that was.
It's like, why not? Well, we haven't given it to him in a Superman lunchbox for a start. Oh, right, okay, sorry.
I had Planet of the Apes lunchbox and $6 Million Man.
I think I had the $6 Million Man, I think.
Yeah.
I can't quite remember.
I think at junior school I might have even had an Evil Knievel one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I had an Evil Knievel, but not the actual...
Yeah, I had the wind-up Evil Knievel and the rocket bike.
I had the wind up with the normal bike. I always wanted the rocket bike, but I never got that. But what I did get eventually was the truck.
Oh, did ya?
The big stunt truck where you could open the sides out to be a massive ramp.
Yeah.
And inside you had all like the workshop with the tools and everything.
I had the $6 million man with the spaceship that converted into an operating theatre.
Yep, I had that one. It came with Mascotron.
Yeah, that was it. The interchangeable faces. And I had Oscar Goldman and his exploding briefcase.
Yeah.
What a disappointment that was.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember Mascotron. I remember the space rocket.
Yeah.
And he had that weird kind of rubbery space suit that was orange or something.
Yeah, that was a bit creepy, wasn't it?
Oh, no, it was kind of an eggshell blue colour, like a light teal blue, and it was like, but yeah, it was like a giant.
Do you remember the roll up skin on his arm that exposed the bionics? That was so wrong for a 1970s child to have to do, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember having Action Man, right? And this is in the 70s, so Action Man, you could have him as a GI.
Yeah. I
had him as a GI, and also you could have him as a full-on like German Wehrmacht uniform, complete with pin-on little medals you could put on the pockets, like the Iron Cross and stuff. They'll have a little stabby bit, and you just pin it into the uniform.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And they were really detailed uniforms back in those days.
Oh, they weren't. They didn't scrimp on detail, did they? Which, when you think about it, would they be able to do that now?
Yeah. Well, the thing is, you've got Dragon that now do like Action Man scale figures, and they do really super detailed ones that are like, £100 or more. But I used to have like the Action Man, like it was a flatbed truck. Yeah. So it had like it had a tilt on it and everything. And I had like, I'd got like a Wild West thing from a Lone Ranger figure, which was like a crate of TNT.
Oh, right.
Just a crate with a lid. So I threw the TNT away, and basically what I had was this crate in the back of this truck, the flatbed truck, and I had one Action Man in a German uniform, and I had one in an American uniform, and I was doing Indiana Jones when he's on that truck trying to climb into the back of the truck. The climbing over the hood of the truck.
Yeah. Oh, you legend.
It was a big, and it was like, so I'd have one in the driver's seat, and but the TNT thing was supposed to be the Ark of the Covenant, you see. Yeah. The TNT crate. And I used to do the music and everything when I was playing the game. I'd be doing the music, and because my dad was a cameraman, I'd make sure where I was looking was all the camera angles and stuff, because I was the cameraman. So I used to play my games. So you'd have him hanging out the front screen and underneath the truck and everything.
Underneath the truck, that didn't work, did it?
And everything. No, you realised your error of your ways quite quickly there, I think.
I stopped myself before I got ultimately humiliated, didn't I?
Yeah. Before it went too far, you managed to pull out.
Yeah, I managed to recover.
That's a nice recovery there, John. Yeah, it was, Ted.
Yeah.
I think you're right, Paul. Yep. Right, so still a little bit of streakiness on some of this Skaven Blight Dinge, but that's not a problem because I'm about to give it a dirty great big wash of aggro.
You're made of streaks.
Streakiness, that's me.
Marcus says, you missed me at the bench tonight, he says, rare occasion. Yeah. Retro says, should I be concerned? My Geiger counter is clicking a bit more than usual. That's odd. Do you live in an area where that type of reading would be normal?
Like, do you live next door to a nuclear power plant or a secret installation with nuclear weapons? Or perhaps in a radon intense area?
We have the Atomic Weapons Research Establishment, AWE, about 7 miles from me.
Allegedly.
And obviously the RAF base at Odium. So, yeah, if we was to suddenly get odd readings, you would be worried because...
Yeah, it's not a good state of affairs, is it?
Yeah, but they're normally pretty good because if anything untoward is happening... Especially at AWE, they'll actually do a thing on the local radio. AWE are doing some testing. You're going to hear sirens and things like that. Don't be alarmed. It's just a thing,
We are, of course, missing the more important question here. Why the heck has he got a Geiger counter? Who has a Geiger counter? What?
I tell you, in the current world, that's probably a good thing to have, mate. Are you a Doomsday
Maybe.
Prepper retro? Out of interest, are you into all of that underground lair with all the secret cupboards full of stuff and
Underground, overground.
fumbling free?
Do.
Now I've got that one side done, see, I'm quite happy to go ahead and just randomly freehand little bits now to wrap them round the bodywork. So
Wrap around the bodywork. Do.
wrap it round your bodywork.
See, if you ask me, I've thought about this bizarrely, but building underground bunkers to survive catastrophe is kind of a waste of time with current technology. Because, okay, you could store 10 years worth of, like, vacuum sealed food. That's fine. But how are you going to get electricity for 10 years or 20 years? How are you going to get clean water?
To be honest with you, would you want to survive it? Because I wouldn't.
Well, no, it depends what it is, I suppose. But yeah, but it's like, until they invent like a small-scale fusion reactor, which could, say, power your bunker for 100 years on a glass of water, it's not really, it's kind of... Once that happens, then it's great. You can make your bunker and you can just be completely self-sufficient for that 100 years. Okay, you still won't have clean water, but you can have equipment that can clean it. Do. Right, I shall put that down.
Andrewgram says, why would someone not want a Geiger counter? I would love to have a Geiger counter. Maybe see if bananas would set it off.
Bananas are quite radioactive, apparently. Apparently, that's the thing.
I bet Jeff's eyes lit up when he saw that about retro having a Geiger counter. It's right up Jeff's street.
I remember watching some video about some guy who was freaking out about his like Geiger counter going off, and it was just normal background radiation that you get every day. And the guy that was on the video said, "Okay, so you're worried about this? Here's a banana. There you go. See, don't worry about it. That's nothing." Remembering, of course, that you get more radiation going up in a plane than...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Little touch up on the Xandri dust. I'll get my wet palette back again because I'm an idiot. Let this dry for a minute and then I can do an all-over wash of Agrax Earthshade.
Get your shades
Also
here. Bit of Agrax.
Also known as Duncan's Tears.
Yeah.
Paul Ditter's in. Says, evening all. How's everyone? In fact, he doesn't say that. He says, evening. How's everyone?
Hello, Paul. Great to see you. I was getting concerned, mate. Not seen you about for a while. Hope you're okay.
Ditter across the universe. Yeah, hopefully he is.
Hopefully you're all right, mate. It is really good to see you about, mate, because, how's your 3D
really
printing going? Tell us all about it. All about it.
So many about it.
See, we're getting bad. We finish each other's sentences and we burst into song in sync, don't we?
Yeah, but you know why I don't feel bad about that?
Why?
For two reasons. One, I've got a dirty great Baneblade on my desk.
Yeah, and you're an honor. Yeah, and you've got two boxes to your.
I've got two things looking over the side of the room that I can look at and see and go, ooh, that I can't tell anybody about because it's super secret.
Yeah.
You know
honestly, folks, believe you me, he has not stopped whining about wanting to start it. Yeah.
I haven't at all been whining about it at all.
Now say that with a bit of conviction.
I have not now, nor never, nor neither, nothing. Deep-a-deep-a-deep-a-deep. Want to tidy up anything on here? I don't need to be too fastidious with these. That's a good word, that.
That is.
I don't need to be... It's a very good word. I don't know where it just came from. I don't need to be too fastidious with this blending because, like I say, it's going to get a wash on it in a minute, so... It's all gravy.
Absolutely.
All gravy, all the time.
He says, all good with the 3D printing, awesome. Just scoping which filament printer I want to get. Yeah.
Filament is a lovely word, but out of context, it's quite absurd.
Absolutely.
It's a poem my mum wrote. Mama Wolf wrote that. She wrote a book of poetry, and that was one of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah. She's weird. What can I say? No. For some reason in my head then I just had the typewriter from Sesame Street going no. Yeah, the depths of my weird memory recall know no bounds.
Is that still going, Sesame Street?
Oh God, yeah.
Is it really?
It's a pale. I actually had occasion about last year sometime to watch a whole load of old episodes of Sesame Street, because it's one of those things where I randomly fell upon a video on YouTube and going through lots of videos. And it's a shadow of its former self. It's all modern and everything now.
Is that because it's gone a bit woke, is it? Or
no, it's just all like Elmo and stuff. And but yeah, it's not the same. Not quite the same. Ooh, sniffles. Got the sniffles.
Yeah.
Anyway, woke's a good thing.
You got to have a bit of filament printing in your life, mate.
Filament.
Excuse me.
Steady nurse. Right. I don't think I've got really got time to put a shade on this before we finish.
Yeah, we'll go till 11 if that's all right, mate.
Yeah, so I'll leave it till next week because it's really a bit of a long job.
It's a school night for folks as well, so yeah.
School night!
Just gives us a good cut-off time, doesn't it?
Talking about my school night.
Just...
Oops. Plink.
Start bringing that over.
So I shall leave that there. There's no point starting a wash. It's not bad then. It didn't take as long as I thought it would.
Absolutely.
Ooh, that fell off. That fell off as well.
It fell off, didn't it?
Tell you what I will do then, if we've got 10 minutes, I'll get some warm water and I'll clean my brushes.
Yeah, no worries, mate. Not a problem.
1 second. I'll leave the microphone on so you can hear me singing or something.
Yeah, no worries. Don't get your water and clean your brushes.
Hear me sing. Oh, God, the torture.
Oh.
La, 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 la.
Ooh. And breathe. Try and straighten that up a bit. Better. It says making it worse, but hey. Marcus is saying beauty sleep awakes. He says, well, at least sleep at last. No worries, Marcus. We'll be coming off shortly anyway, mate. So
hi, Marcus.
Sleep well, mate. Nice for you to pop in, Marcus. Always nice to see you.
Oh, yeah. What was going to do? Oh, you're cleaning brushes. Why is it, right?
Yeah.
Whenever you eat anything that's got, like, no matter what the ingredients are, if it includes cucumber, all you can taste afterwards is cucumber.
Yeah. It's one of those flavours that takes over, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like, it's 99% water, and yet it's overpowering onions, turkey, chipotle sauce, steak, peppers.
Yeah.
I don't understand how it does that. It's not actually normal.
Witchcraft. That's what it is.
It's the one with no flavour that tastes, that's the burp flavour later. Jeff says, the secret, you say? Come on, give us a little clue.
I can see what Jeff's doing. Yeah. Yeah, he hates it. He hates it when we have secret builds, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm. There is a program that uses one of the words in your sentence that sort of almost shares... Oh, no, I can't even go with that one, can I? Because it'll give it away.
No, you will give it away.
No, I won't give it away. I shall stop.
He is proper coiled spring excited as well. It is.
I don't even know why, because it's not like we're going to do anything exceptional. It's just silliness.
It's our way of saying, come on, let's put this into context.
No, me, I'll get bored of it after about 3 episodes anyway.
Yeah, too many folks take this hobby too seriously, and it's like, come on, let's just have a laugh.
We're going to completely not do that.
Yeah, it's like, come on, let's see the futility of things, and yeah.
Yep.
It's slightly mad. Even for us too.
I don't know if you read the one from Wendy about Geiger counters.
No, I haven't, mate.
My dad had a Geiger counter. Remember it when I was younger. Used to use it on an old watch.
Oh,
yeah, old like luminous watches and clocks had radium in them.
Of course, yeah.
Yep.
Back in the day, yeah.
My mum and dad used to have an old West clock on the bedside table, which it's like, yeah, that was probably highly radioactive. Paul Ditter says, filament, salubrious, oleaginous, triskaidekaphobia. These are all words I love. Oh, I should have got Colin. You can read that one.
Filaments, salubrious, oleaginous, tracheobia. Yeah. There you go.
Good try. Good try.
Yeah. I was going to say, you haven't mocked me for pronunciation tonight. So.
Oh, pronunciation. Oh, cringe.
See. Brilliant, isn't it?
There's no O in the middle of it.
I don't care. I don't give a
monkeys. You don't care. That's what makes it worse.
It makes no impact whatsoever into the quality of my life.
It does, because it makes your life better, because you're making me go, ooh.
Who cares whether something is supposed to be said a certain way? It's like, really? Yeah.
Bob pronouncing person.
In the big picture of things, it doesn't matter.
Don't ask the French. They've got a whole department of pronouncing things correctly in their.
Good luck to them. That's what they want to do.
Yeah, it's a department that tries to get rid of any non-French words from French, like le weekend. It drives them nuts.
Yeah. So.
They're all really old, so. Right. That's my 2 brushes. Well, all the brushes I use, only 2 of them.
But yeah, with your brushes of usedness.
And they were scruffy brushes anyway, so I didn't have to worry about them too much. I shall get rid of that. Vast amount of use that bit of parchment paper got. And I'll take I'll dry my palette thing out later.
Yeah, you are impressed, aren't you?
Yeah, I might just use my normal little made of tissue palette next time, because it's pointless like wetting all that and soaking it up just for like a 2-hour stream and then leaving it for a week. Although obviously as time goes on I'll be doing lots more painting, so all the painting. So many painting. That makes no sense.
It made sense to you when you started to sing it.
In my brain of thinking, it made sense. Right, so that's how far I've got them. Got my slightly softer striping, only slightly.
Yeah.
But once you get a wash on that, it'll start to look fabtabulous.
It's getting there.
Sometimes painting's a fast process, sometimes it's a slow process.
Absolutely.
If I'm doing it, it's always a slow process. And you know it.
Exactly.
So I don't know. Hopefully you can get the idea of what I was trying to go for with that slow.
Yeah. Go full screen if you want, mate.
No, I'll quickly then we'll do full screen yours as well. So.
Oh no, please don't.
Yeah. Everybody gets the full screen treatments. There you go. You just get the feel for it's a softer surface. It's rough as anything. It's as rough as a badger's backside, but it's just softens it before any washes and weathering go on top. Rather than just... Because I don't like camouflage where it's solid lines. It's never interested me at all.
No, yeah.
Yeah. And it's not working for me, this colour scheme at all, but it will do once the weathering kicks in.
Why is that?
I don't know.
You've not been happy since you've started it, and it surprised me, because why go for it then?
Because I know what it'll look like when it's finished.
Right, same as
well,
me.
At least I hope I know what... At least I've got an image of what it looked like when it's finished, and then I'll be like, ooh, it looks really good. But at this point where it's all nice, spankily new colours, and it's all like... There's no contrast. It's all like just sand or grey. Yes. Yeah, that's me so far. We'll give Colin a full screen bit when he's done.
Yeah, I'm nearly done, mate.
Yeah, you see how you got on with yours.
I'll tell you what, let's stop there and clean me brush.
B3 says Clanfair PG. And Flocky Knocky Nihilipilification and anti-disestablishmentarianism.
Oh, well, there you go then.
Flocky Knocky Nihilipilification is the way that stones get rounded when they go along in a riverbed.
Oh, right, yeah.
If I remember rightly. I could be wrong. I think it's the way pebbles get
rounded. You could be wrong,
and
you could be right.
Probably wrong. But I'm not going to try and pronounce Landfair PG. Landfair PG, no.
So you went and tried it anyway?
No, trust me, that's not the full version. I can say Clanfair PG, but not the full.
That's roughly where I've got to.
Oh, let's put you on full screen so you can see.
Please don't.
There you go. You've done it.
There you go. So that's where I've got to.
I'm liking that.
So, yeah, it's a little bit wonky in a few places, but it'll get there.
That's what the back and forth is for.
Absolutely. So,
man, that's looking mint.
So it's getting there. So that's what we're up to. It's just trying to bring it up from the sides across the top. Both sides.
I like where the little blue triangles that go up to the top of the thing actually carry on across the top and on the side. It's nice, that. Delta shape.
Yeah, so that when you do that, you can see it goes up onto the little turret on the sponsor, and then goes across. When you pull that off, it continues on that one. So it's just trying to get, like I say, you get one side done, and then you've got to then try and tilt it so that you can try and continue it on the panels that are behind it. So then when you've done that, you've then got to try and merge them so that you get the similar sharp bite when you look down at it. So it'll be quite a challenge. So, yeah.
What are you going to do for the other side? Because you haven't got any reference picture for the pattern on that one, have you? You're just going to go off that side and
just mirror it. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
It's pretty. Yeah.
I think that's looking mint. I think that looks better than mine, actually.
Pretty easy. You just do that and mirror the picture wherever it is. There you go. So,
bing, there you go. Perfect.
So that's all you do.
Nice. I prefer yours to mine. I think yours is looking better than mine.
Yeah, but you're going to do this scheme now anyway, and you're on your next one, so...
Yeah, because it looks too good not to do.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like that scheme. At first, you thought I was a bit mad choosing this scheme, but it just jumped out at me, and I thought it would... Yeah, it just brings something different to it, so why not?
Yeah, I like it.
Oh, yeah, the stripes have only got their base colour down. I've got other colours of this triangle stuff to do as well. I might just use it as a drop shadow in a few places.
Yeah, what colour are you going to do your wheels?
I haven't even given that a thought yet, mate.
I hadn't thought about mine because I never know whether you're supposed to put the camouflage down to the wheels or not, so I just leave them whatever.
Yeah, I've not given the wheels one iota of thought yet. I would have thought that they would have very minimal paint on them anyway if they've been going through rocks and that. They would have been chipped and roughed up, should we say. I chose my words carefully then. So, So I've got real no idea. It's like the tracks. I haven't really thought a lot about the tracks, to be quite honest with you. I think Retro was saying this in the chat, that he was looking forward to seeing what we do with the chat. So the tracks even.
The tricky thing with the tracks is that, like, if you try and do the rusty tracks look, that's fine. but the contact surfaces are where the metal gets polished. It's all shiny.
Yes.
Unfortunately, most of the surface on the track is contact surface.
Yeah.
So it's like, so you end up with silver-looking tracks. I've never figured out the way to do Beyblade tracks.
Yeah, it's one of them,
It's a tricky
isn't it?
one. Yeah.
I'm sure we'll come up with something, but
yeah,
that's
we'll sort something out.
quite a bit down the road, to be quite honest with you. But yeah.
Oh, yeah. Got a while to go yet, matey.
Yeah. Tracks is always one of them, innit? Because where you keep picking it up, putting it down, picking it up, putting it down, you're going to wear quite a bit of the paint off, which is why we normally leave them till last, isn't it? But,
oh, absolutely. The thing that's going to amuse me is when we start a stream one day, it'll be like, first 10 minutes, putting enamel wash on. That's it. Right, that's the end of the stream. Bye.
Yeah, it is going to be one of them. We had this issue with the Lehman Russ, didn't we? Where washes were going on. You can't really move the model about because you've got to let the wash settle. So
yeah, you can't do it like on a Lehman Rush. You can air dry, but on this thing, so there may be a few streams where we do like 10 minutes work and then just sit talking to the chat for like 2 hours.
Yeah,
because
either that or we start the wash just as the stream's about to end, so that it can dry.
Yeah, Sod's Law says we'll do it. It'll be the first step.
Oh, mate, you know we're going to do it because we're idiots.
Of course. Oh, yeah.
No, I'm happy with that. It's coming together. It's my vision is
I'm looking forward to how mine's going to come out. I'm really looking forward to see how yours gets on.
Yeah,
I think that's mint.
It's getting there. I was sceptical at first, thinking, is it going to work? And then I thought, well, it works on the box art, so and it's different for me. It's just something different. So hopefully you like where we're going with this, folks.
Yes.
So until the next time, we're going to love and leave you and let you all get off because it is midweek. Absolutely. It is a work night. So hopefully you've enjoyed what we're doing. Remember, folks, pop over to eModels, grab yourself some bits and pieces, slap it in your basket. It all helps support them. And also don't forget, they are now associated with UMP, folks. So you can get your UMP stuff now through eModels quite happily.
Absolutely.
So remember that, folks, and we'll see you on the next one.
Yep.
Take care, folks. There you go.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Adios, amigos. Bye.